So I put this video off for a while because I still wanted to analyze everything concerning this particular person. And there was something that I have not found anybody even entertaining the thought of what if this is actually happening, because so many people are so focused on she's a co-conspirator, and she's definitely a co-conspirator. But I'm going to now tell you what I believe KK really is. Okay, so we already know the trial has wrapped up. All witnesses have testified. No more people are going to be called to the stand in order to solidify this RICO charge against P. Diddy. And we all also know that RICO can't be performed by one person, that multiple people had to assist in the RICO, which the prosecution has shown that Diddy has had assistance and help, and one particular name have constantly kept coming up throughout this whole trial, and surprisingly this person has not testified, neither for the prosecution or the defense. And it has raised a lot of eyebrows as to what is actually going on here. With as much involvement this person has been called the right-hand woman of P. Diddy. Why isn't she pulled to the stand by either side? So this is what I've always thought about KK, and I cannot shake the feeling. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is my hypothesis. This is my guess. This is my observation of what I'm seeing. And to me, KK appears to be a double agent. And what I mean by that is not in the term in that you thinking that maybe she is an undercover agent for the state, because I entertained that thought at one point too. But if she was, that would have been the big whoa to really push her out there at the end, and they did not. Which would have literally solidified the case. That would have been it, because she would have thrown him up under the bus in so many ways as this agent for the state. Then one would say, well, why aren't they calling her? Well, they have used her text messages, which is, if it's authenticated that it's actually from her phone, and those are real unaltered text messages, then that's about the next best thing as to why they have not pulled her in far as the prosecution. And I've been saying how a lot of celebrities too have not been called in, and we're noticing a lot of celebrities are now being pulled into their own civil lawsuits and possible federal lawsuits that we know have connections with Diddy. And then there is also the thing about his son. There's now being rumored or allegedly saying that they're now going after P. Diddy's son for doing exactly what his father was doing and luring people into this lifestyle. And he has criminal charges pending against him as well. So it once again bring you back to the other co-conspirator of this case, and that is KK. Now, the security guard, you can look at them and say, well, why wasn't they? Now, I can understand the security guard not really coming forth because his loyalties lie deep for Diddy. And if anything, it would have been the prosecution that was calling him. But what I cannot understand, unless my theory is correct about KK, is why she hasn't been placed on that stand. And I know there's a lot of different theories about they probably didn't need her, but she might have got immunity, and then they used what she told them as far as the state in order to help their case as to who they might been able to pull into and who they needed to question. Because if it would have came from KK and they're just trying to save her face. But I'm looking beyond the surface. And once again, this is my hypothesis. I really do believe KK is a double agent. She's a double agent because she got flipped by the state towards the end, but she merely just held off in order to, at the last possible moment, to where it could have probably damaged, not so much damaged the prosecution, but left more holes in the case that would have confused the jurors to the extent of this is why they did not use her. So when I say double agent, I do believe that KK got flipped. I honestly do believe, because there is stuff that we don't know that has not really been brought out about the case. And there's other charges that are pending for various different people connected to P. Diddy and this whole organizational thing, as well as their own stuff. But another thing I did not hear anybody, and this is the key, look closely at every victim that P. Diddy, and including the one witness that we assume to be Gina that never showed up. Look at them. They all resemble who? They all sort of resemble KK. Okay? So this is my thing. What if, and this is just me what ifing, what if P. Diddy real, not just partner in crime, but love interest and who he really is into is actually KK. She is not just his right-hand woman. She is his woman. She is his main woman. Now, she know what he like, and she'll allow him to do what he needs to do. But she is just as involved with him as any of the other ones was. But they have to keep this a secret. They have to keep this where at least the main folks don't know. And I'm sure some people in that organization probably know, if it is true, that they did have a relationship, because a lot of his victims looks an awful lot like KK. So my thinking is that maybe her and Diddy was actually in a relationship, and why the defense is not actually calling her is because she's his scapegoat. If he does get the time and he goes away for a while, all that money removal and moving around the company that they was doing, all of it just wasn't necessarily for the escorts. It was to ensure that KK had it because he trusted her, because that was his real love. And that no matter what time he does, that it will ensure his estate lives on, his legacy lives on. She could still help his children out in the event his son is charged. And now we see that there's rumors that his son is being going to be charged with the same thing. So maybe she's a double agent in that extent. She's actually his lover as well as his co-conspirator. And that's what she was not trying to get out, because if she would have took that stand, then everything would have been revealed. And maybe the prosecution would have seen just how hard she played them as well. So that's my thought on her. You know, at one point I thought she was an agent for the state. I've always felt she had a very hands-on intentions with this whole thing, but I think it's a little more deeper than what we're looking at, y'all. I think they doing the old switcheroo, hide and bait everybody, from the prosecution to the defense. I think Diddy and KK had their own little thing that they already had done worked out. Well, like I said, this is my hypothesis. This is my guess from what I'm seeing, and kind of the only thing that really makes sense here. I I know some people think that she was probably working for higher ups and she was more the boss than Diddy. No, I think that was a spin to try to keep her true identity, the true role that KK played in all of this. And I believe once the prosecutions really start digging a little deeper, if they haven't already, they're going to find out she was a double agent. As always, be your brothers and sisters keeper. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. And stay in tune with me for the videos that I keep you informed with and keep you wondering and thinking, okay? Be your brothers and sisters keeper. Keep God first. Hit like, share, and subscribe. And toodles. Talk to you later.